Nippon Electric Company, or NEC, is one of the premier international companies taking part in CIFTIS 2020, where they bring innovations for smart living. The world we are living in now is embracing digitization. NEC, as a multinational company, believes decoupling is definitely not the option. I speak to NEC Chief Representative of China, Takeshi Tsukamoto. I'm excited that you're going to share your history with us.
Thank you very much. It's a very big pleasure for me.
Yes.
We, NEC Corporation, was established 1899. It means last year of the 19th century. It means that we survived across the 3 centuries.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How many years you have been working for the company?
33 years, yes. As usual in Japanese.
Okay. And your relation with China?
Yes, we started the relationship in 1972. We have set up the satellite Earth station and then to the live streaming from China to Japan, shake hanging the Prime Minister, both Prime Ministers.
That's very impressive, isn't it? 1972, the normalization, China-Japan relations, and NEC play a critical role because you have this satellite here established and set up right at the airport.
Correct. Yeah, it is one of the biggest proud in our company. Yes.
Later you have, of course, a lot of subsidiaries and JVs in China.
Yes, as you may see, the 1990s we had set up the self-joint venture company for the semiconductors in Beijing, telecommunication in Wuhan, the semiconductors in Shanghai. Yes.
I see. And the list goes on. More.
Thank you very much.
And 2003, that's impressive. You have this China Research Lab.
Correct.
Institute.
Yes. At this moment, around 60 engineers works for this laboratory and try to set up the new ideas.
And where are they now?
In the same building. This building. Yes.
Do you visit the institute often?
Yes. One of my concern is.
One of your biggest areas of research.
Correct. Yes. By new idea, new contribution.
So you give them a lot of pressure. What about new idea today? What about new ideas tomorrow?
Why not?
That's what makes a boss, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And then when did you come to China?
I came here in 2018, around 2.5 years ago.
So it's almost like
yes,
right?
Yes. So I'd like to expand our history.
Yeah.
Yes.
Innovation and technological advancement have been a discussion and also area of cooperation between China and Japan. How do you see that is being reflected this year at the International Fair for Trade in Services?
I also attended the fair last Friday, and then I recognize the message from the President Xi Jinping's addresses, mainly 3. One is recovery from COVID-19. Yes. Secondly, the open market for mutual benefit. Yeah. Number 3, digitalization. Yes. The key factor is the digitalization. Yes. Through the digitalization, the global market shall be opened. So even some country try not to be open the market. Through the digitalization, it is inevitable to open the market across the border. And then this fair may accelerate this tendency. That is my opinion.
So how should we understand the talks, at least, of so-called the decoupling, technological-wise? And what does that mean for your company? Particularly, you're having a global operation with a big presence in China.
We cannot expect the actual decoupling because, again, the digitalization accelerates the post-COVID-19 world.
So you don't think that is going to be the trend, the so-called decoupling?
I don't think so.
You have a lot of staff here in China. This operation is extremely important for your global map here. So tell me more about how exactly in the digital world you are working with China.
It is true that in China, digital giants such as Alibaba or Tencent is there. So I don't think we can compete with them, and then we cannot contribute all the segment in the society. So at this moment, we try to concentrate one segment, specific segment, healthcare on the elderly care, because in Japan, around 30 years back, elderly society is already there, and then we have been struggling. So in that sense, we have some room to contribute to improve those issues even in China.
In what way, what do you think are the most urgent topics that you're working with China on regarding the elder population?
Okay, one keyword is personalization. Yes. The service provided to elderly person in China is not personalized. So we can contribute to provide a more personalized and better service to the elderly person.
For example, my mom, what kind of a personalized service would she get as a result of NEC's working together with the Chinese side?
Currently, the senior elderly person who enter into the elderly center itself, the most case, unfortunately, they cannot go back to their home. But that is, I don't think, the proper way. We try to analyze the data and then provide not only the care service but also for the rehabilitation program. So by getting those rehabilitation program, those elderly person can go back to their home and then can do the remaining life. It is, of course, happy for the family, but also it helps reduce the cost, means reduce the financial issues in the government. We can say that this issue is the one of the most important, most severe governmental issues.
What does the rehabilitation program include in terms of services?
We can provide some devices. One of the devices can see the status of the capability for walking.
So the sensors, once they enter the rehabilitation program, they will be equipped with different kinds of devices and sensors.
Correct. Depends upon the status of the individual elderly person.
I see. And then data will be collected about them, even though they're staying at home.
Correct.
And your control center will notice all the data and analyze it. If there's anything that it is abnormal in a way,
correct,
they would provide services accordingly.
Through the care center or the care manager or care staff itself.
This is going to be an enormous important project, I think.
Yeah.
For the elderly.
I believe so. Frankly speaking, we cannot provide a service all over, even in Japan. So we have a specific area to provide our services. So even in China, of course, China is much bigger than in Japan. So we try to focus on the area, including the Shandong province or Beijing or near Shanghai area. We do not have any idea to provide the services all over China for a while.
Then it comes to a question of global supply chain. As a global Japanese company, you have factories, service centers, R&Ds everywhere in the world. How do you see the debate about this?
I think global supply chain may be split into two. Yes.
You think there is a danger?
Yes. Of course, the wage of the laborers in China, of course, already become higher than the surrounding world. So, so-called labor-intensive economy industry shall be shifted surrounding China, such as ASEAN or Bangladesh or India, Pakistan.
Is it happening to NEC?
Yes. But not totally, yes, but time to time, yes. But due to the economic growth in China, this cannot be inevitable. On the other hand, the supply chain for the new economy with innovation shall be initiated and by China, yeah, because most of the innovation at this moment have been established in China. Then there's two factors. Yes, one is a huge market.
Right.
Yes, by digitalization. Yes.
Huge market meaning huge data too.
Correct. And then the second one is initiative from the Chinese government. Yes. Chinese government, even compared with the surrounding government, including Japan, let the innovators to do the proof of concept testing freely in certain period without any restriction. So, so-called, we can say, kind of the sandbox. And then the Chinese government has been done those manners for already done for the certain years. So most of the new economy or new innovation, new industry has been established in China in this market.
Is there a danger for NEC to have two different innovation or technological research, shall I say, circles? One is in China and China only. The other is for maybe U.S. And U.S. allies and Japan included. How does NEC as a global company see this, putting all the pieces together?
Okay, so one point is the Asian market in Asia, because initiative in China is so huge. So we have not recognized China as the global manufacturing plant, but the global market, biggest market. We cannot rely on the one part of the world. Of course, it might be true that Japan and the United States has a strong relationship. But as you mentioned, economical point of view, we have been more closely related with the Asian countries.
True. NEC established your office in China decades ago. At the very beginning of China's reform and opening up, Japanese companies contributed greatly to China's open up and the technological progress, and the people opening their eyes to the rest of the world. I remember very clearly, then the Vice Premier Deng Xiaoping went on a trip in Japan and on the bullet train, and he was so excited. So we can see there is a huge link between China and Japan in terms of opening our eyes, try to show each other the best. So where are we going from here? Things are complicated once again, much more complicated probably than 20 years ago, let's just put it that way. So from your perspective, how can we do it?
Japan already became around 60 or 70 years old. So we are in the matured society. So we cannot compare in the quantitatively. So we can see the difference of the quality of the society. So it is true that we Japanese now even struggling how to nicely matured. So those experience surely China in some decades may become the same status with a bigger scale. Of course, we are ready to provide our experience, not only the good experience, but also even the severe experience. That is the role of the so-called matured society country. So I'd like to ask to Chinese people to see on those point of view how nicely Japan society matured. China can see and study what may be happening and what should we do to be the beautiful, matured society.
I love that idea.
Our focus area, the elderly society, elderly care services, these are in accordance with those understandings.
What a pleasure talking to you.
谢谢你。